Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So appreciate everybody turning out. I really just deeply appreciative. I know you're all super busy and have a lot going on, so just really appreciate everybody taking time to join us. There are a few empty chairs. By all means, for the folks standing, I see a few chairs. Feel free to grab them. And you know, it's just an honor to be here, and we're going to be signing, I think it's 11 bills today from legislators from this part of the state, and it's a chance to share with all of you and the public just the hard work that the state legislature is doing on behalf of the people. And I'll chat more about that, but I really wanted to first start by asking our state senator, Matt Benke, whose district we are in, to maybe welcome folks in the space we're in, which we're so appreciative of being here specifically, and just maybe do a few words of introduction would be great. Thank you, Senator. You bet.
I'll spend the next 45 minutes. No, sorry. Just kidding. Don't have that. But on behalf of the governor, we want to thank everybody coming and who showed up today. We call this the Mighty Eighth because it really is a cornerstone in the east section of the state, to where the 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th kind of come together. So you have 4 or 5 different legislative districts that are here. We call ourselves the energy capital of the Northwest, so you have a lot of the cities, counties that are represented, and our community safety officers who are with us today. Can't forget, of course, with my bill, the higher education community members. So you see the diversity, and not only the industries that are showing, the areas of our industries that highlight the wealth and breadth of the leaders who are here and that represent really the workforce and our constituents that we see. Want to welcome you to the 8th District because it's the brightest side of the state. We love it. And as one who's grown up here for 6 generations now, and my wife's, I think, 9 or 10, it just means a lot to have this whole piece, to invite the governor over in a peaceful partnership, collaboration. We may not all agree on a lot of things, and I've even got some online, feedback. When the governor first said he was coming out here, I said, this is what we do when we're leaders. We build the relationship that we need to do with critical stuff that's going on in the state. And these are hard, tough issues that the governor's going to be working with us on. We want to have that open door. We want to have that open door with his directorates, his staff, his faculties, and know that he always has an open door and a red carpet treatment when he shows up here in the Tri-Cities. So on behalf of that,
thanks,
sir,
appreciate it.
thank
Thanks,
you
Senator.
for
Round of
coming
applause
out
to the
here.
Senator. Yeah, thanks so much. So let me just take a sort of moment to explain kind of what the process is and how we're going to do this. So typically these bill signings usually take place at the state capitol. There's a conference room right outside my office where probably 99% of bills get signed. But sometimes we like to take them out to the community for a whole range of reasons, and we thought it might be nice to do it here as well, to get out to the Tri-Cities and have a chance to recognize hardworking folks who helped on all these bills and the legislators who helped lead these efforts. So the way, if you've not been to a bill signing before, we've got 11. We go through them pretty quickly. That's the nature of it. I do a quick description of what the bill is, and what I'll do is I'll read off each bill beforehand. And then I know there are folks here, sometimes it's a legislator, sometimes there are folks who help make the bill happen. If you are connected to the bill, by all means, come on up. We welcome folks to stand here. I say a few words about it. And the tradition is that the pen that I sign the legislation with goes to the prime sponsor of the legislation, so you'll see that. We'll be taking pictures. We have media here, but we always pose for a picture afterwards. So that's really the process. You'll see bills. All these bills were bipartisan. These bills cover the range of helping out students in our high schools and colleges, public safety, supporting our farmers and many other communities. These bills really are a reflection of the broad work that the legislature does every single day on your behalf. For the media who are here at the conclusion of this, I am happy to stick around to take a few questions, and we really would invite any legislators who want to join me for that. If you want to, if media has a couple questions, we can take a couple, and we can do that fairly briefly afterwards, and folks can feel free to join if you've got questions about any of the legislation. I think we'd be happy to do that if folks have any questions, or we can hang around afterwards as well. So with that, my team is taking the bill signings on the road. They're here. They work hard to set this all up. Please give them a big round of applause. And so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna put this back. Yeah, I think I'll pull that out of order. Those two. All right. So we'll For Representative Ybarra, we're gonna do our first one as a sample. So here's how it works. So I'll read off the bill number. So this one is House Bill 1253. This goes to utility joint use agreements. Representative, would you mind joining me? It would be great. And anybody else who's involved in this, we of course encourage if anyone else wants to be up here. So do not be shy. If anybody else, this is the way it works. This is no time to be shy. If you were involved, if you care about this legislation, the only request is balance it out up here. And the way this works is the prime sponsor is always to my right. We always have lots of legislators who are involved in all this legislation, but in the interest of time, we always specially recognize, of course, the prime sponsor. Okay, so here we go. This is House Bill 1253. As Washington State faces high demand for electricity, we need new tools to deliver it. House Bill 1253 allows cities and public utility districts to enter into joint use agreements with private companies to develop transmission, energy storage, and energy generation facilities. We need utilities and private industry to have all options available to build the electricity we need for the future, for everything from charging cars to powering data centers. We appreciate everybody who's been working on this really important issue. The representative, I had a chance to talk on a trip I took to Eastern Washington. We had coffee for a while to talk about these issues, so I know he feels very strongly about these. But Alex has been a big leader in this area. I'm not surprised that he is the prime sponsor of this bipartisan legislation, and it's my honor, Representative, to sign this legislation into law.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oops, I'm so sorry. My bad on the handoff, right? That's my bad. All right, let's do a photo, everybody.
Okay, right.
Oh, sorry, hang on one second.
These guys have to.
We got some late arrivals up here, yeah. Come on
Part of the
in.
Energy Committee.
And feel free, oh, wonderful, yeah, step right in. Thanks so much. Come right on up. Feel free to come right on in. Yeah. Are you in there? There we go.
There we go. I'll go this way. Yeah, I can see everyone. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Good to see you. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so pretty smooth on the first one, other than a bad handoff from me. All right. Next up is House Bill 1258. This is Regional 911 funding in Spokane County. This is Representative Tim Ormsby, who lives in Spokane, so he's not able to make this trip. So I will briefly describe this bill. House Bill 1258 clarifies city-county sharing of 911 excise tax revenues to help support public safety in Spokane County. This does not impact the state portion of the tax, and we appreciate the hard work of Representative Tim Ormsby, who all of our legislative friends know very well for his hard work on this, and I'm signing his bill into law. All right, next up we have, is this Tom next? All right, Representative Dent, this one has your name on it. So this is House Bill 1648, child care qualifications. Good to see you, by the way. Encourage folks to come on up.
Hello.
Thanks so
Susan
much.
Brown.
It's great to see
Yeah,
you.
she's one of the prime architects of this bill.
Oh, is that
She
right?
worked hard on it for 2 years.
Susan,
The
thank you.
first bill I've ever
Oh,
helped
come on,
write.
is that right?
Yeah.
Susan, is that right?
Susan, yeah.
Awesome. And was there, oh, step right on up, yeah, thank you so much.
You bet.
Yes, thanks for your help with this. The COVID-19 pandemic had long-lasting impacts on the availability of childcare in Washington State, including the ability of providers to meet new qualification requirements. Many providers have struggled to obtain the necessary credentials to continue operating when these new qualification requirements go into effect. House Bill 1648 extends the deadline for child care providers to meet those requirements from 2026 to 2030, improving access to training and allowing them extra time to receive credentials. This bill received unanimous support in the legislature, so appreciate the leadership of everybody involved in this. Representative Tom Dent is the prime sponsor, but also Susan, who I understand was, I think in your words, the key architect.
The key architect.
So Representative Dent will not mind if I use 2 pens for this one. That way we make sure Susan gets one. Thank you
Okay,
so,
well,
so much
thank
for,
you.
yeah, thank you so much for your hard work. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we'll use a second pen for Representative Dent. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate your
it.
time.
Yeah, you bet, yeah. And let's do our photo.
Okay, look right here. 1, 2, 3. Do another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You might as well stay here, Judy.
Okay, don't go anywhere. You're
I'm not.
staying right here. Oh, this is CCA. This is a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our bill.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. This is great. This is great. So this is a House Bill 1912. A lot of folks, I'm not surprised, are coming up for this one. This is a great bill. And this is agricultural fuel related to the Climate Commitment Act. So this has been one that has been great to work with you and many others. Appreciate it. So in my inaugural address, which feels like a long time ago now, right? But it's been 120 days only. I talked about being committed to support an agricultural community, and this bill helps fulfill that promise. In fact, I talked about this issue specifically. House Bill 1912 directs the Department of Ecology to provide easily accessible information to farmers so they know where they can buy fuel exempt from the Climate Commitment Act surcharges. The Climate Commitment Act is a big law in our state, obviously with huge ramifications, but farmers have been having a big challenge accessing the exemption that they are entitled to. And so this is an issue that I had a chance to talk with many folks, but especially Representative Dent, and is one that we've talked about a number of times. And so this legislation clarifies which fuels are exempted and extends the exemption for an additional 2 years. This will help ensure fuel used for agricultural purposes is truly exempt from any added costs resulting from the Climate Commitment Act as promised. This enables Washington to continue to go forward with the Climate Commitment Act, but also make sure we're honoring our commitment to farmers all across our state to make sure they're not taking on additional costs that they certainly should not have. Representative Tom Dent, there's a lot of folks here who made this happen. We appreciate all the input. As Representative Dent knows and every legislator knows, you need the voice of the community to come forward to get legislation at this point, and many folks made that happen. But please do give a big round of applause to Representative Tom Dent for his leadership.
Well, not to be outdone here, we did talk about this way back in November when Governor asked me to be on his transition team, and this is what came out to be one of the prime issues that we were going to face in agriculture. And he's kept his word, and he helped me work through this. This is a heavy lift, as we call it, a bill that's hard to move through the legislature, and the governor kept his word to me, and we made it happen, and thank you for your help.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Congratulations. And let's take a photo, everybody.
Okay, right here, 1, 2, 3. Do another one, 1, 2, 3. Wonderful.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
You, yeah, get to work.
Next up, Rob, we have, this is House Bill 1934, Employment Investigations in the Public Records Act. Thank you for this bill. This is great. Thanks, everybody, for coming on up.
Come on up, brethren.
That's right. There we go. Okay. House Bill 1934 prevents victims of workplace harassment from being re-victimized by an abuser who may figure out their identity through a public records request. This bill prevents personal identifiers from being released in records released through the Public Records Act. Before disclosing any requested records, after an investigation is concluded, the employing agency must now redact images, job titles, email addresses, and phone numbers of complainants, accusers, and witnesses. The agency must also ensure the voices of those individuals on any audio recordings are altered. However, the name and title of any complainant may not be redacted if that individual is an elected official. We so appreciate the leadership of the prime sponsor of this legislation. That, of course, is Representative Rob Chase for his strong leadership. Look, the Public Records Act is important. We have to have transparency in government. That's key. We all recognize that. And Washington really has one of the strongest laws in the country on making sure we're all being transparent with the people we represent. But, of course, you have to have a balance and make sure that we're protecting folks who are facing real challenges, and their information should not be shared. And so it's a real honor, Representative, to sign this legislation into law. And a round of applause for Representative Chase. Thank you.
Okay, right here, 1, 2, 3. Do another one, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks so much. I think he's got one more at least. Yeah, Representative Chase, stay close by. So this is House Bill 1936. Yep, awesome. Folks can feel free to stay up here if they want. You don't have to sit down in between if you don't want to. Okay. House Bill 1936 extends the ability of experienced education retirees to fill critical non-administrative and superintendent roles part-time. The provision in state law allowing them to work in public education without immediate reductions to their pension benefits was set to expire in July. It is now, thanks to this legislation, extended until 2030. This bipartisan legislation helps address ongoing staffing challenges in public education that many folks here are very familiar with, particularly in small and rural school districts across our state. We appreciate everybody who helps our kids throughout school districts all across our state. My late mother was a public school teacher for many years, in addition to raising 7 kids. And so we so appreciate all the work that all of you do, but especially, of course, Representative Chase for his leadership as the prime sponsor. And I'm pleased to sign this legislation into law. A round of applause again. Thank you.
Okay, right here, on 3, 1, 2, 3, do one more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Okay. We have 5 more. Senator Warnick, this is, I think we have you on this one. And Tom, I think you're the companion on Yakima. Oh, this is the Yakima Basin Water Plan. This is great. Yep.
We need
Yep.
a chair
Yep.
up here.
Please, yeah, this,
Yeah.
did you want to say a word about this? I'll have you say, after I say a few words, I'll have you maybe, I think that'd be nice, yeah. Thank you so much for being here for this. We so appreciate it. The Yakima Basin is facing the 3rd consecutive year of a drought declaration, making the efficient use of water for both fish and agriculture especially critical. Senate Bill 5303 extends the timeline for continued development of projects and permits that support the Yakima Basin Integrated Plan by 10 years to July 1st, 2035. Water storage projects in the Yakima Basin are essential for mitigating the impacts of drought, enhancing in-stream flow for fish, improving irrigation for farming, and promoting conservation. We so appreciate the work of everybody who made this possible, tribes, community leaders, elected officials. This is a big piece of legislation that does a lot of good for this community. We especially appreciate, of course, the prime sponsor of this legislation, and that's State Senator Judy Warnick. And if it's okay with her, I'm going to ask if you just would say a word or two, and I know there's a lot of partnerships that went in this, and
There
maybe
is.
you could chat about that for a moment. Go right
And
ahead.
when I was first
Go right-
elected,
go right ahead, yeah.
When I was first elected, this was just kind of getting started in the legislature. And I was so impressed with how people are working together, our Department of Ag, the Ecology Department, the farmers, the environmentalists, the tribes. We've all had a piece in that. And this is an example of what can be done when we work together. And it's being recognized worldwide now. So very, very happy to support this legislation. And thank you, Governor, for signing it.
Thanks, Senator. Anything you want to add as well about this legislation?
That's been a long time coming. When we first started this, there was many fisticuffs ready to go. But through the discussions and the cooling heads that came about, they begin to talk and they begin to listen, to understand that we're only at the tip of the iceberg, and now we're on the iceberg, ready to go. But through the collaboration of everyone involved, cool heads revived, and everyone began to see what others were saying, that if we talk, we can listen. And it proves today as this bill becomes law. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thanks to you both for all your hard work. It is a really good example of what can be accomplished in working together, and to your words, listening. The prime sponsor of this legislation, I just want to make sure I don't forget to say, is State Senator Judy Warnick, and on the companion sponsor on the other side, that's Representative Tom Dent. So when we have a prime sponsor and what we call a companion bill on the other chamber, what I like to do is sign with 2 pens, because both those individuals are working hard to make it happen. First, thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And for Representative Dent as well.
Okay.
Where did he
Back
go?
behind you.
Okay, thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Yeah. Round of applause. One more round of applause. Let's take a photo. Yeah.
Okay, right here, 1, 2, 3. And do one more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks again. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, really appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Thank you. All right. Senator Warnick, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I keep signing her bills. That's
Yeah,
what's
thank you for
happening,
that.
right?
Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
This is Senate Bill 5323, and this is theft from first responders. I know we have some folks who care a great deal about this as well. Thanks for your service and thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here and all you're doing. Really appreciate it. Yeah. This is Senate Bill 5323. When a thief steals from a first responder, they are keeping them from doing their life-saving work in an emergency. Senate Bill 5323 increases penalties for theft of essential equipment for firefighters and emergency medical service providers. It does this by expanding the definition of first-degree possession of stolen property and first-degree theft. This bill passed unanimously out of the state legislature for obvious reasons, right? This bill is essential for the folks who serve us so well and help keep us safe. And so it's an honor for me to sign this legislation. The prime sponsor of this legislation, you've heard her name earlier today a few times, State Senator Judy Warnick. And thank you, Senator. That pen is not working well. Let's do that. Let's find a different one. And we appreciate, Senator, your hard work on this legislation. Congratulations. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do one more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we have 3 more, I think. Is that right? Okay. Senator Warnick. And this is Senate Bill 5485, Livestock Identification Bill. Senate Bill 5485. Got everybody? Okay, we're getting them? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Senate Bill 5485 extends the Department of Agriculture's Livestock Identification Program through July 1st, 2030. Washington State's livestock producers rely on this program to help track ownership, deter theft, and support the health and safety of the state's livestock industry. This bill ensures the continuation of current livestock identification fees, the Livestock Identification Advisory Committee, and the Livestock Identification Program reporting requirements. When I met with the Cattlemen's Association, I think it was in early April in my office, this was a topic that was on their agenda, and so it's nice to be full circle from that conversation. Appreciate the hard work of everybody here who made this legislation possible, and particularly appreciate the leadership, once again, of State Senator Warnick for being the prime sponsor of this important legislation, and I'm pleased to sign it into law. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, right here, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Senator, thank you. This one is you. Yep. This one's you. Oh, this is college-bound scholarships. This is great.
right.
Yeah. No, appreciate the work on this. So, yeah, right. Yeah, this one. Yep. This one relates to college-bound scholarships. Anyone feel free to. Oh, we got the family involved. I love that. I've got to get my kids. I got to get my family to my bill signing. That hasn't happened yet. I got to work on that.
Inside scoop.
I got to work on that. Okay, we all set? Great. Senate Bill 5543 increases access to post-secondary education by expanding eligibility for the college-bound scholarship. Specifically, it includes students who have received a high school equivalency certificate, also known as a GED. There are many reasons students may need high school alternatives. Students who pursue those alternatives should also have access to critical financial aid to continue their education. Washington State, thanks to the legislators you're seeing here and many others, really have very generous programs in place for to support high school students who want to get a higher education, but that can always be improved. This is a really good example of that, expanding folks who can access that. We appreciate everybody who serves in our education system. This was requested by the State Board for Community and Technical Colleges. My wife works in our community college system and has for many decades, so she's always happy whenever I get to talk about community college as well when I'm signing bills. But to all who work in our education system, high schools and colleges, we so appreciate their work, and I'm pleased to sign Senator Venke's legislation. He's the prime sponsor. The companion sponsor is Representative Joe Timmons. Senator, congratulations. Really appreciate your work on this one. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
kind
it.
words.
Absolutely. You bet. You bet. Thanks so much.
Great, right here. 1, 2, 3. And another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Great. Thanks and congratulations.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, last one. All right. Senator Warnick. And this is Employment Training Program. This is Senate Bill 5682. This is our last one today. And just to be clear, I think I made clear, I've signed many bills already, so most of those happen. So the legislators you're seeing, they've had other bills as well that we signed. This is just a small fraction of the overall work that they do, on your behalf in Olympia. Okay, we all set? Great. This bill grants a 5-year extension for the Washington Customized Employment Training Program B&O tax credit. This successful program helps employers cover the costs of employee training. Extending this program will help Washington employers stay competitive, particularly small businesses. I appreciate the overwhelming bipartisan support for this bill, and I particularly appreciate, once again, the prime sponsor of this legislation, State Senator Judy Warnick, and also, of course, appreciate on the companion bill side, Representative Salahuddin, who worked hard on this legislation as well. And it's my honor to sign it into law. A round of applause for Senator Warnick.
Thank you for waiting till one day.
That's right. That's pretty good. All went done. There
Yeah.
we go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Do one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
everybody. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah.
So that is our final bill. First, a round of applause for all the legislators and the folks who made that possible. And I don't know if there are folks here in the media who do have questions. I think the legislators would be more than happy to just take a couple quick questions if you have them. If you do, just raise your hand, let me know. Otherwise, we can let everybody go, and we'll be available afterwards. We're getting off easy. So just a final thoughts. We'll be available afterwards if you have questions for individual legislators, if you're with the media. And I'll be sticking around for a few minutes. Just a couple final thoughts. I love being in the Tri-Cities. The sun does always seem to shine here, as it is today, not in Seattle. Just I'm here a lot. Over the years, I've been here a lot in part because my daughter is a big fast pitch softball player, and the Tri-Cities hosts really one of the best fast pitch softball tournaments for 12U, 14U, 16U. So I've been coming, every year for many years and hanging out and watching a lot of softball, and so just have really gotten to know the community well as a result of that. But I so appreciate all of you turning out for this. I do think it's important for elected officials like me who live on the west side, to get over to other parts of the state, in part to be visible, in part to talk to your local media, but in part to speak directly to constituents. But also, today was a real pleasure because it provided the opportunity to really share the wonderful work, the really bipartisan work that goes on in the state legislature. And I understand, with headlines, sometimes people might think, oh man, it's such a partisan place all the time. Well, of course we have our differences, that's natural. I have my differences with my 6 siblings sometimes, but I think it's important to reinforce to the public, that for the most part, legislators, folks in my office are working hard every single day to try and solve problems. And I think you heard a big range of the kind of problems we're addressing right here today. And so from my administration, I just will say that is my goal. My team knows that, solve problems, solve problems, solve problems. I think that we can do. Agree to disagree where we have to, but I think today's a really good example of what we can do when working together. So one more round of applause for all your legislators. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Appreciate it.